One of the girls I sponsored from Budapest to the conference a couple of years ago, and that changed Alcoholics Anonymous in Hungary. And then she sponsored a girl in Kazakhstan, and that changed Alcoholics Anonymous in Kazakhstan because during the pandemic, we all spoke at that meeting in Kazakhstan, and this young girl translated in Russian. You know, God's love spreads like honey over the planet.
I heard it through the grapevine. Welcome. It's the AA Grapevine half-hour variety hour featuring the collected voices of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm Don, an alcoholic in Greensboro, North Carolina.
And I am Olis, an alcoholic in Oakland, California.
Hiya, Olis.
Hey, Don.
Guess what's happening?
Tell me.
It's the first of the month. You know what that means.
The new Grapevine issue's here.
Woo-hoo! The new Grapevine is here. The new Grapevine is here.
I can't believe it. It's already September.
I know. Here we go again.
We just started the year.
This is a good month.
You know, in March 1962, the issue of the Grapevine, Bill Wilson, our co-founder, wrote one of his most beautiful lines. It reads, "When brimming with gratitude, one's heartbeat must surely result in outgoing love, the finest emotion that we can ever know." In this month, that idea is beautifully expressed in the special stories section. And we hope that all of you, whether online or hard copy, that you'll come and read the Grapevine issue and that it gives you hope and it brightens your life a little.
This gave me a chuckle in the letter section. A few years ago, I became the literature person for my group by default. I found we had a large supply of Grapevine back issues, so I decided to do more than just announce the arrival of the brand new issue. I went to the front of the room and started reading one of the stories. After only 2 paragraphs, I stopped reading and said, "Thank you. If you want to know how the story ends, come buy a copy after the meeting." Oh, no, that's kind of mean, I think.
That's actually genius.
Yes, it's a hard sell technique. Everybody laughed, but I sold all the new issues, plus some back issues, too. Another time, I told everyone that the current issue had 2 stories from Canada. Again, sales were good. That's sent to the Grapevine by Celia R., Ontario.
Celia, thank you for being a beautiful representation of a Grapevine rep. Well, a literature rep.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. In the story, Glad to Be Here, a member shares how AA taught him how to change his life and to become a friend to himself and to others.
And a sober man recalls the disaster husband he once was in the funny tale, Going in the Right Direction. I know I've recovered when I can begin to laugh at my disasters.
And a member in the story, It Keeps Getting Better, tells how amazed he is that that's exactly what has happened.
In Dreams Come True, a woman whose every plan was ruined by alcohol now lives a life she didn't even know was possible.
And today, that woman is our guest.
Woohoo! The first show of the month always features an author from the issue, and today we have Snow P. from Boca Raton, Florida. Her story, Dreams Come True, is on page 14 of the September 2025 issue. For us, this is going to be a dream come true, Alice.
Come true. I'm really, really excited to talk to Snow because so many people come into Alcoholics Anonymous, and what do they get? They get a life beyond their wildest dreams.
Well, that's exactly what happens. And who can believe it? I can't get to where I am from where I was.
You'll hear people say that if when you come in, you write down everything that you want, that down the line, you'll have robbed yourself because you're going to get so much more than you thought was possible. Really, really excited to meet Snow and to introduce Snow to everybody.
The Plain Language Big Book is now available. It's intended to help readers better understand the book Alcoholics Anonymous, fondly called the Big Book by AA members. It's considered the basic text of the AA program of recovery. This new book describes AA's 12-step program in simpler language than the original book, which was published in 1939.
The Plain Language Big Book presents in a simpler language
the ideas contained in the Big Book, Alcoholics Anonymous.
Specific AA-related words and phrases used in the original 1939 book.
Vocabulary in the original book that may be dated or not familiar to readers.
And the core content of the original Big Book without member stories, often called the abridged edition.
The Plain Language Big Book is AA General Service Conference approved literature and is available now for $11.
And as always, AA encourages ordering our literature via your local distribution sources, groups, districts, intergroups, and central offices, as they play a vital role in local 12-step activities.
I'm Snow. I'm an alcoholic. My home group is Sober Sisters in Boca Raton, Florida, and my sobriety date is 3/7/1975.
Man, Snow, thank you for having a light on for me when I got here. 75. I got here 87. And when I got here, people who'd gotten here in 75, I thought they were lying.
No kidding. Yeah, me too. I got here in 94. What was going on with you, Snow?
I had gotten all the outside stuff. I came from the bottom of the 60s and I got all the outside stuff. But what happened? Alcohol was eating my brain.
Yeah.
It was eating me from the inside out and destroying me. My bottom was in my kitchen. There were no blue flashing lights. There was nobody chasing me. There was nothing happening outside of me. It was all inside. I completely deteriorated. But I had the apartment, the car, the job, I had a business card, for God's sakes. I didn't think I was an alcoholic.
Right.
Well, yeah, an alcoholic. My vision of an alcoholic was trench coat, living under a bridge.
There were no young people at the time where I got sober.
Where'd you get sober?
In Port Chester, New York, and the Rye Harrison group. They kind of all had to adopt me. It took a village to raise me. I mean, I just was in my 20s, and the old guys with no teeth who drank Sterno said, "We went to all the nut houses and the jails for you, kid. You don't have to go." And I got that blessed gift of believing them. And I didn't have to go. I mean, I thought my life was over. This is who I'm hanging out with, eating scrambled eggs on paper plates.
Wow. So how did you change your thinking to I am an alcoholic?
I admitted it, but I didn't accept it for a long time because I had to stay long enough to find out what an alcoholic was. And they told me that only a small percentage wind up on the Bowery drinking out of paper bottles, that the rest of us look good. And there's a long progression. There's a fatal progression to this thing. And I could get off at any stop. And I learned I had to stay long enough and shake hard enough and hold on to that table so I didn't leave the room and could hear what they were saying to me.
So what is an alcoholic?
What makes me an alcoholic is not what I drink, how much I drink, where I drink, who I drink with, the amount I drink. What makes me an alcoholic is that I cannot safely predict what's going to happen when I pick up one drink. I don't know if I'm going to have 1, 10. I don't know if I'm going to read a magazine or sleep with a stranger who looks like one of those movies, Jack Nicholson movies.
Yeah.
What's that movie? The Shining. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't predict my behavior once I put one drink in my body, because I have this physical allergy that makes me completely different. I'm married to a man who can have half a glass of Jack Daniels. He doesn't finish it. He doesn't have a personality change, and he doesn't want more.
So when you've been here since 1975, anybody that's been here a long time, usually we're on all three sides of the triangle: unity, service, and recovery. How have you found a way to be useful in Alcoholics Anonymous?
Well, the most useful thing I've done is sponsor people. I sponsor a lot of women. And I always tell people, don't be afraid to sponsor a lot of women. Don't hoard your gift, because they're not all going to call on the same day. Somebody calls, it's a 20-minute call. It's never going to be a 16-hour call, because what you're doing is directing them to God. and the steps. So it's not eating up your life. It's not about the numbers. It's about a daily deal. It's just a daily deal. And the greatest gift I've gotten is knowing that I'm only getting this day. There's no matter what contract anybody has on this planet, they're not getting more out of it than just today. So sharing your day, part of your day, it's not going to be the whole day. Sponsor as many people as you can. And that's the way to be connected. I've never been unconnected. I'm still in AA because I never left. And, you talk about what my 9-year-old grandson said to my daughter, Mommy, why is Nana crying? She goes, it's a funny thing. Nana cries when she's happy. And isn't that what we learn how to do here? Cry when we're happy and laugh when there's tragedy. We completely flip the script and change our thinking, how we see things, how we perceive things, how we experience things. And it gives us that joy of living that's critical that we have to pass on. If we don't have that joy of living by the 12 steps, you got to go back and do it all over again. Because otherwise, how is it attractive to anybody?
How did you, in 1975, in the late 70s, describe AA and how you got sober?
Well, as I said, there were nothing but old people at that AA meeting, and
People who are our age now.
were over 30. Everybody was over 30.
Yeah, the
Anybody
old
over
people,
30.
that's right.
Well, this woman who walked up to me at my first meeting said, I'm your sponsor. She was an escapee from East Germany, and she said, you will not drink tonight. And she said, you ask any higher power to keep you sober today. Even though the last minute of my bottom was filled with God, I didn't believe in God, or I didn't know God, or I didn't understand God. And she asked me to do, she said, get on your knees. And I was doing that just because I don't know if I want this AA thing, but I don't want to blow it. So I'm doing what they're telling me to do. And after a couple of weeks, I said, well, I don't feel anything. I don't, nothing has changed. I don't understand it. I don't feel God. She said, well, did you drink? I said, no. She said, then it's working.
That's right.
There
You
it
asked God to
is.
keep you sober and you stayed sober. So it's working.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they had me make coffee in this big, dark Gothic church in this 40 or 50 cup pot. I never made coffee in my life, and people didn't want to drink it. But I did what I was told to do, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case I needed this thing. And I couldn't be an alcoholic. I just couldn't be. I couldn't be because I didn't do all these things that alcoholics, I thought, did. Drink in the morning, live in a Bowery.
Yep.
I didn't lose everything.
That was my experience. I was, that we talk about a high bottom and a low bottom, but and I was a high bottom, and I would hear people and go, well, maybe I'm not a real alcoholic. But your description of what an alcoholic is fits me to a T. When I drink, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea if I'm going to have one or if I'm going to have 15.
I mean, the other thing I'm hearing from you, Snow, and I want the listeners to hear this too, is sometimes we get here and we're not sure this is the right place for us. We have some doubt. Maybe I'm not an alcoholic. I still have all my teeth, right? That was my thing. I don't know why it was teeth. That's what it was. And if we just stick around and give it a chance, and we just follow some direction from somebody that knows the way to freedom, life gets incredible. So I want to acknowledge you're here 50 years, right?
Yes, ma'am. Days, nights, weekends, holidays.
All of them. No breaks, right? And some of the people that are listening are not even 50 years old, right? And it seems inconceivable. But here's the trick, right? Don't drink, don't die. But even though you're 50 years in, you're still sending in letters to the Grapevine. You're still sponsoring people.
I was at a third step meeting this morning at my home group. I'm all in, babe. I'm all in. Why would you spit the gum out if it's still sweet?
Oh, we'll take the gum out if it's still sweet. That's right, Snow. So talk to us about how you came to begin writing for the Grapevine, how you got connected to this process you're in.
I loved reading the Grapevine. It was black and white, of course, black and white newsprint when I was reading it. And I just loved reading the stories. And at some point, I just started sending stories in. I mean, I just started sending them in, and it's not really about if they publish it or not. And they may hold on to something for 3 years and then decide they want to publish it. It's about contributing to Alcoholics Anonymous.
It's about contributing.
What can you do today to contribute to the solution? I mean, that's really what it's about. I mean, we saw during the pandemic that people in the prisons only had the Grapevine to read. They weren't on Zoom. They had no people carrying meetings into the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage people in my home group, and some people got stories printed. And I bring all my Grapevines to the front of the table for people to take and read and bring them back. And once I started doing that, other people started bringing their Grapevines in. You don't have the money for a subscription, just go take one off the front table.
It's great for newcomers I always like to give them a Grapevine. Somebody new who walks in the door, has no idea what AA is. Take this with you, because that's very readable for anyone now.
And thank you, Snow, for talking about the way that the Grapevine carries the message to people who are institutionalized. Those folks that can't get out to a meeting, that can't log on. The Grapevine is a lifeline for them. Thank you for acknowledging me.
We have the luxury of live meetings, of Zoom meetings, of meeting people for coffee, of gatherings. I have a gathering of all my girls in a couple of weeks. We did a pilgrimage to Stepping Stones, and we rented the whole Wilson house for the weekend, which you can do.
Stepping Stones is
the home for our co-founder Bill W. and his wife Lois, who founded Al-Anon family groups. And the Wilson house is the house where Bill Wilson grew up in East Dorset, Vermont.
It was his grandparents' inn.
Yes.
It's very inny.
Yeah, sounds like a wonderful trip.
Yeah, it was. You know, the history is magical.
Did you guys go to the General Service Office?
That was the trip before, the pilgrimage before that one. We went to General Service.
For anybody that's not done it, it's the trifecta, right? On the East Coast, you can do the General Service Office in Harlem, and then you can go up to Stepping Stones, which is a beautiful property. And then from there, you can just make the drive to Vermont.
It sounds like you do a lot with AA. How many meetings do you go to a week?
One live meeting a week, sometimes two, and I go on Zoom a lot. Because I work like crazy. I'm still working. I'm 77. I'm still working.
You don't look a day over 25, let me just say, Snow.
I love you, honey.
Why do you still go to meetings?
I need spiritual CPR all the time. Yeah. And I get it from people who are alive. The God part in me sees the God part in you. And that's the live connection that I need. I can't do this on my own. I don't choose to do this on my own. I wake up every day with a mentally ill 1,000-pound gorilla who wants to dance with me. Yeah. It's untreated alcoholism. And every day I need to focus on the solution in my prayer, in my meetings, in my sponsorship with my sponsor. I just spent 2 weeks with my sponsor. I still have a sponsor. Yeah. I've had many sponsors. They move away, they pass away. And, you know, last 3 went into nursing homes. So, you know, I always have that connection.
Yeah. You know, no, going back to what you said earlier, Snow, going to meetings sometimes is the way I contribute. Sometimes I go because I need help.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the way that I give back, that I shine the light that I've been given.
I want to be at my station. People know where to find me at my station.
At my station.
If they need me, they know where I am.
Well, it becomes a responsibility the longer that you're sober to be able to share what we've learned from the very beginning. But, you know, to participate in AA at the fullest level is to be available and helpful to those people who are reaching out that don't know what to do.
It's hard, I think, when you're new to believe that dreams can come true. Like, all I wanted was the consequences to stop. I wasn't thinking I was going to get a big, amazing, beautiful life. And in your story, you write about how dreams come true.
I had no idea what dreams were. I mean, I had such a small vision of what a dream was. I mean, what was a dream? A dream was not having a hangover. I mean, what was a dream? We're not saying that if you don't drink, you'll get married, go to college, have incredible careers, have children, have grandchildren, and travel the world. That's just what happened to me. What we're saying here is that if you don't drink one drink for one day, you won't get drunk. And then you have an opportunity to find out what God has planned for you. Otherwise, you have no idea. It is so huge. The life I have is so huge. It blows me away. I'm astounded by my own life.
Tell me the most astounding thing. What is the thing that is the most unbelievable about the life you've been given because of Alcoholics Anonymous?
That I have been able to have this incredible family, my husband, my 3 children, and with the bonus round, and now I get another bonus round. I have 6 little grandchildren. 6 little grandchildren. It's
Ding, ding, ding. Bonus round.
unbelievable. And then I have been able to raise this family, bringing my sobriety to that family in a way that was healthy. And I have had a full family life, and I have had a full fellowship life, 2 entirely different lives living side by side, and both have flourished unbelievably.
No doubt mutually supporting each other. And I'm going to ask you, Snow, and forgive me for this. You know, each of us do something different if we stay long enough to demonstrate our gratitude, right? Because gratitude, like love, is a verb. It's not a feeling, right? It's an action. And you talked a little earlier before we started recording about these gatherings that you do. And I would love for you to just share it with people, because what you don't know when you get here is that one person, one listener, can do service that impacts lots of people. And that's hard to believe when you're new. But Snow, you've done that. Talk just a little bit about how you've brought people together.
You know, I was raised by 2 people who were incredibly wonderful. They were uneducated, and just salt of the earth, and they had the gift of hospitality. They gave me that gift, and Alcoholics Anonymous showed me how to use it. And I have been able to love abundantly in many different ways, and bringing people together is loving abundantly and helping them to love each other. I've been able to create many, many events where hundreds of people have gathered in fellowship and sobriety and shared experiences together that they wouldn't have otherwise, that they would be too afraid to do otherwise. And to have that kind of passion. I mean, I never woke up and said, "Dear God, please help me have this career or that career." It just evolved. It just evolved, and I don't know. I'm grateful out of my mind. And the way that I get to be of service, not everybody's built for it. I mean, I had a lady in Cuba fall down, crack her head. I gave my passport up. I forfeited my passport to take her for help, and I held the plane. I said, "I'm not leaving the country without you." I don't know how many people would do that, but I'm passionate about taking care of my people, taking care of my alcoholics in recovery who want to enjoy their lives, and teaching them the joy of living, showing them the joy of living is what I've been blessed to be able to do. And I have a fellowship family that is not my sponsorship family, that is my travel family. I've taken thousands of people all over the world safely and doing things that they couldn't otherwise do. So my life blows my mind when I see what God fitted me for.
Yeah.
Fitted you for. Snow, this is a real gift to get to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Chip, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. My sobriety date is May 31st, 2005. I subscribe to the Grapevine because it's, at this point, just a part of my normal morning reading. I will read my daily reflections and something in the big book, and maybe As Bill Sees It, and then I'll read the next article in that month's Grapevine, because that's kind of like my dessert. It's like, so I get to read, I'll say, like the theory in the big book, and then I'll read the Grapevine and see the practice.
The Grapevine strives to be self-supporting.
Please subscribe to the magazine or app and visit the Grapevine online store.
The app is free in your phone's app store and has great content and features provided at no cost to you.
But if you subscribe, you get so much more. And you support all things Grapevine, including this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Only $2.99 a month. I'm at the very wit's end. Cuckoo. A recovering alcoholic went out to dinner and was asked by the hostess if he would like a cocktail.
No thanks. I have an important business meeting next month.
It's really not that funny.
Thanks for joining us. The AA Grapevine Half-Hour Variety Hour is posted every Monday and is produced by AA Grapevine, Inc. We don't speak for AA as a whole. We share the experience, strength, and hope of members to help others recover from alcoholism. All things Grapevine are available at aagrapevine.org, including our app and how to get in touch with us. Find us on Instagram and YouTube. If you want to know more about AA, visit aa.org or search online for Alcoholics Anonymous and your city.